G'day, I'm Alan. Welcome back to my channel, Allan Cameron Music. I've already posted a video talking about 5-ish reasons why you might want to be in a covers band or a covers act or solo. And now I want to talk about 5-ish reasons why you might not want to do that, and maybe just have a little think about it or balance. So the first reason to maybe not be a covers musician is sort of a yin and yang thing. When I was younger and playing in bands in the 80s and 90s, I, for a start, I never did solo gigs. I did a couple when I was younger, but playing in bands definitely was more energizing. And I, as I said in my previous video, mainly played in originals bands till I moved to Queensland. But then when I did go full-time, I was in Rusty and the Ayers Rockettes and Three Magic Words, which was the band with Peter Clark and Marlon Holden, bless his soul, who were in Rusty and the Ayers Rockettes, and a guy called Keith, who you can look up. And then we went on to back that Keith and tour. So they were amazing times. But by the same token, you didn't have... And I was super... Let me just say, I was super energized, so I was writing and creating all the time in every spare minute. And the gear was exploding, drum machines and 4-track recorders, and I got the recording bug as well as wanting to write more songs. So youth helped there, and I loved it, and I was playing and playing with people who were so much better than me and inspiring me. But I also had very little time to give towards that. So if I'd have really focused on my original career there, and if I'd maybe wanted to be a star rather than just create music, who knows what might have happened with my career trajectory and my life. But by the same token, I've been in music my whole life, and I'm successful at it. So I'm pretty happy in that respect. But I do wonder if I'd have put more time and effort into just being an original musician. Who knows? So you've got to find that balance, and you've got to make that decision yourself.
In my thoughts now, the picture of them seems like history, and I never seem to know how, and the thought seems so clear to me.
That sort of leads me to the second reason, and they sort of tie in together, and that's how the industry has changed. So gigs are a little harder to get, and after COVID especially, it's mainly been solo work to keep the bills paid and keep the bank manager happy. And that is a lot more of a drag, I find, at least for me. You might find solo gigs fantastic, and I can get something out of them, but I miss playing with other people on stage. I do that occasionally now. My drummer plays with me in a duo. We do some Allan Cameron band shows, but very few. So you have to keep that up is very, very hard. So solo gigs really dry you out. They can, you're the only person who has to deal with the crowd. You have to get everybody happening every night. What songs do I do? Is this an acoustic show? Is this do they want to dance all night? Or do they just want to relax in the background? And it's fabulous when you know and you've been told that it's got to be acoustic music or only dance music or whatever. That does help. But you've got to decide it, and that can be so much hard work mentally.
Play the rusty tones of my grandfather's old guitar.
The next reason is that if you're doing 4 or 5 gigs a week or more, the last thing you want to do is create music, is do more music, is play guitar or sing in my case. So, that's in contrast to when it energized me and I wanted to do music every second of the day, because I've been playing covers for so many gigs and I'm just buggered physically, but also mentally. I don't want to get up. I want to play a computer game or watch a YouTube video or read. I don't want to get up and create music. I need a break from it. And that's a little hint. I always take off, in my case, Mondays is my day off. and I absolutely don't touch a guitar. I don't listen to music unless it's in a movie, because I do want to clear my head. The problem is, of course, as I get older, that day is then harder to recreate through the rest of the week, because it's hard to get that motivation back. And I'll talk about some of those ways to help keep the fire going maybe later on, and hopefully that'll help. Now, that sort of leads me on to the next reason again, and that is when you're doing a covers gig, you're doing 3-4 hours, hopefully not longer than that, but that's 3 hours of singing. So even if I've got the band, the other guys are singing a couple of songs a night, I'm doing 3 hours of singing, basically. If it's a 4-hour gig, I'm absolutely doing 3 hours of singing and playing. If it's a 3-hour gig, I'm pretty close to that. And so if you're doing 12, 15, 18 hours of singing, not only do I not want to sing anymore that when I'm not gigging, I'm worn out. So if I try to do vocal takes, I've had, when I'm creating, when I'm tracking original songs sometimes, I just can't get the vocal parts down. I have to work my way back up to where I can sing the part. Unless it's a really gritty, low number that needs a lot of emotion, maybe that'll help. But I don't use auto-tune, so that means I've got to work even harder to record my vocal takes and my backing vocals. And so doing lots of covers gigs, wow, that just kills you. Same if you're out touring. When I toured with original bands, and when I'm working a lot with original bands like SaltbushSix, and I wasn't the lead singer though, helpfully with that. You're buggered, but you're not working as full on, and unless you're the lead singer, you get to be the guitarist and be the singer and move around a bit more. Whereas again, if you're a solo artist, that's you all night. If you stop playing, nobody else is playing. If you stop singing, nobody else is singing. Like, for instance, when somebody comes up and asks for a song in the middle of a chorus. And if I do break the fourth wall and say, I can't chat to you and sing, not that anybody cares about that. Yeah, it's all on you. So you need a break from it. So then I suppose it all ties in again is how do you keep that creative fire going? Now, I have a few friends who are a bit younger than me. Everybody's younger than me. And, because they're in the same boat as me where they have to make money from gigs, they are doing solo gigs as well, as opposed to working with the band and their friends. And they haven't had those decades of building the love of working in venues with bands. And it's a real slog for them. So if you're in that boat, it's not only hard to be creative, it's impossible to be creative. How you then, want to write a song when you've just hated the last week of gigs, and when you're young, and you need the money too to maybe buy a house or just eat, then you got to do a lot of gigs. I did a lot of gigs when I was younger. I very rarely will do a double anymore, because that's 8 hours of playing in the one day, and I'm just totally wrecked. So if you're younger, that whole side of your personality, the reason you got into music, is pretty much gone. So you need to maybe get out of music. I don't know. That's something you've got to find for yourself. But if you lose that creative flair, that'll break your heart, and I find that hard enough. Quickly, here's a few things to help you get through that. So maybe you do need to do something else. Go and drive a truck, or work in a store, or just cut back from covers gigs. But then you need to just start playing for the pleasure. Don't worry about practicing, although I consider any playing that's not at a gig is practicing, and maybe you find your love for it again, and you start being able to just out of that writing new songs. I think that'll be another video where we can delve into that a little bit deeper, where you can use some tools to help you be creative. So my way of really getting through the covers gigs and just surviving them, let alone staying creative, is to put my heart and soul into it. So some people will just go through the motions when they're doing a gig, and if that works for them, great. But I see mainly that just kills their creative soul even more. So my way of getting through it is I've got to give everything. I've got to play a song almost like it's the first time. I've got to try and play it like it's the first time I've ever done it. So if I'm playing Brown Eyed Girl, I'm guilty of not playing it exactly the same, but I'm not doing a jazz version. I'm just putting my creative flair into it. I'll work to get a good sound. I'll work to on my vocals, my technique, how I sing something, and maybe just sing it the best I've ever sung it, and if that's the night I do it, then hopefully somebody notices it, and sometimes they do, and that's wonderful, but sometimes they don't, and you're the only one who notices it. But that's good for your heart, for your soul, and it'll help you get more gigs too. So that's the balance, and we'll talk about balance a little bit more. So look, I'm going to create more videos like this, hopefully not so rambly. I'm just starting out again on this side of it, chatting and talking about career. But subscribe, that'll really help. I know you get told that a lot on YouTube. But hope you made it all the way through. If not, I'll catch you back at the start again. Thank you.
And I still think of myself